We have seen how the butcher of Gujarat, upon being elected to India's highest office, has now become the butcher of Kashmir. As a new generations of Kashmiris rise up to demand their rights, Modi's tyrannical government has broken all records of inhumanity. We have watched in horror. We've watched in horror as the world stood idly by while young Kashmiris were blinded by pellet guns, while they were used as human shields, while rape was deployed as a weapon of suppression, oppression, and terror. The United Nations resolution calling for a plebiscite in Kashmir gathers dust while the world is apathetic to the plight of Kashmiri Muslims. Let the plebiscite take place. Let the people of Kashmir deploy their democratic right and choose their destiny. And we can guarantee, Mr. Speaker, that there will be no such a terrorist attack in Kashmir ever again. Obviously, those who condemn violence must condemn violence on all sides. But the Pulwama attack wasn't the same as Mumbai or any other attack. This was not an attack by non-state actors coming from another country. This was an organic domestic attack by a Kashmiri citizen of occupied Kashmir, attacking within occupied Kashmir, using explosives found within occupied Kashmir, reacting violently to generations of state terrorism in occupied Kashmir. And rather than facing their own issues, India is trying in vain to pin this on Pakistan. After a humiliating electoral defeat in the last regional elections, the extremist Indian government thinks they can hate-monger their way through the general elections. The world needs to understand, Mr. Speaker. The world needs to understand the dangers of this violation. We have already set dangerous international precedents in the name of fighting terrorism. We have already allowed non-state actors to decide the fate of nations. We've already allowed for the violation of international law when it comes to drone strikes in sovereign territories. The Osama bin Laden was the world's most wanted terrorist. And in that case, we have already set dangerous international precedents. But there is no parallel to be drawn here. In this case, India has no cause, no justification, and no case. Do we really want this precedent to be set? Does the world really want this precedent to be set, Mr. Speaker? We are pleased that Pakistan has made the utmost and sincerest efforts for de-escalation. I would also like to appreciate the opposition members, for we showed a united front to the world. There was no petty politicking at the time of the Indian attacks. None of the opposition members joined with Difai Pakistan Council and held rallies against the government. None of the opposition members dared to declare Imran Khan a security risk for trying to make peace overtures to India. Hopefully, we have drawn a line in the sand, and that sort of politics is in the past, Mr. Speaker. I must also appreciate the Chief of Army Staff for promptly, at a time of crisis, and at this very crucial time, briefing Parliament, briefing parliamentary leaders. This is how democracy functions, Mr. Speaker. At the same time, it was incredibly unfortunate that the Prime Minister chose not to attend. This was the wrong message to send the world, in my opinion. It was another case of putting egos before the nation, and the Prime Minister should not have failed that test. Mr. Speaker, it is my opinion that the Prime Minister has taken a risk in returning the Indian pilot so soon. It is mildly humorous that while the entire opposition is banned from leaving the country, one can come bomb us, invade our territory, be defeated by brave PAF pilots, have their plane shot down, but be returned in a matter of days, no questions asked. We all believe in humanity and de-escalation, but there has to be a strategy. Without any form of reciprocation from India, without any international guarantees for de-escalation, one must question the wiseness of this and the timing of this decision. At the same time, we still pray that the Prime Minister's risk pays off. Then there was the decision of the government not to attend the OIC. This, Mr. Speaker, I believe was a missed opportunity for engagement. It was a missed opportunity to present our case more vigorously in front of the world on a world platform directly to the leaders of the Muslim